Welcome to today's video about Marie-Thérèse-Louise de Savoy, Princess de Lamballe, who was a close friend and confidant of Marie Antoinette and whose loyalty to the Queen eventually cost her her life. Marie-Thérèse-Louise de Savoy was the daughter of Prince Louis-Victor of Savoy and Christine de Hesse-Rotenbourg. The princess grew up at the Palazzo Carignano in Turin, Italy, and received a very strict upbringing, far removed from the plots and intrigues of the court. She was a gentle, wise, and pious child. These character traits convinced the Duke of Penthièvre, one of the richest men in Europe, to choose her as the wife for his son Louis-Alexandre, the Prince de Lamballe, who was also the great-grandson of Louis XIV. Louis-Alexandre was a descendant from the legitimized line of Louis XIV's relationship with Madame de Montespan. Marie-Thérèse married the Prince de Lamballe, son of the Duc de Penthièvre, on January 17, 1767 by proxy in Turin. The official wedding took place on January 31, 1768 in Nangy. Very quickly, the prince lost interest in his wife and started to have several affairs. Her husband contracted sexually transmitted diseases and infected his wife several times, which left her with a scarred face for life. Not long after, in 1768, her husband died of venereal disease. The Princess de Lamballe found herself widowed and childless at the age of 19. After the loss of her husband, the Princess de Lamballe became involved in various charitable works, together with her father-in-law, the Duc de Penthièvre. In 1770, the Dauphin Louis-Auguste, the future King Louis XVI, married the Archduchess of Austria, Marie Antoinette. The Lamballe and Marie Antoinette met each other at the wedding for the first time. The Lamballe was 21, and Marie-Antoinette was soon to be 15 years old. From 1771 onwards, the Lamballe frequented court more often. Marie-Antoinette saw in her an ally and a sincere friend. When Louis XV died in 1774, Marie-Antoinette became the Queen of France. Marie-Antoinette appointed Lamballe as surintendent de la Maison de la Reine. It was now Lamballe's task to organize the entertainment for Marie-Antoinette. This function did not suit the older Lamballe, and very quickly the Queen appointed Gabrielle de Polignac as surintendant. Having more time to herself, the Princess de Lamballe went to the countryside and resumed her charitable activities. She bought the Hotel de Toulouse, the current headquarters of the Banque de France in Paris, from her father-in-law. In 1783, she bought the Hotel de Lamballe in the village of Passy. At the start of the French Revolution in 1789, Marie-Antoinette began to realize the mistake she had made. In need of a friend, Marie-Antoinette contacted Lamballe again. When the royal family was forced to move to the Palais des Tuileries in Paris in October 1789, the Lamballe accompanied them to their new residence. The Lamballe remained one of the Queen's last supporters, and their friendship strengthened. In 1791, the Queen informed the Lamballe of the plan for the royals to flee and ordered her to leave France. The Lamballe reached London via Dieppe. However, the royal family was caught in Varennes and they were returned to Paris. Despite the Queen's pleas not to return, the Lamballe returned to Paris at the end of 1791. The reasons for the Lamballe's return are uncertain. It is suggested that she returned either because she feared for the safety of her properties or because of her loyalty to Marie Antoinette. Upon her return to Paris, the Lamballe resumed her duties as surintendant at the Palais des Tuileries. On August 10, 1792, an angry mob stormed the Palais des Tuileries, after which it was decided that the royal family would be imprisoned in the Tour du Temple. The Lamballe accompanied the royal family to the Temple on August 12 and was imprisoned there with them. On the 19th, all of those who did not belong to the royal family were transferred elsewhere. Marie-Antoinette and the Lamballe had to say goodbye, and the Lamballe was taken to the Force prison. On September 2nd and 3rd, 1792, armed crowds surrounded the prisons of Paris, demanding the blood of the royalists imprisoned there. The Lamballe was taken from her cell on the morning of the 3rd of September and brought before a hastily improvised tribunal. The Lamballe was asked to take an oath of hatred against Louis XVI and Marie-Antoinette. Taking the oath could have saved her life, but the Lamballe refused to do so, and she was sentenced to death. There are several different accounts about the exact manner of her death. Many accounts consist of macabre details such as the mutilation, the butchering, and the exhibition of the deceased body of the Lamballe. It is a known fact, though, that she was beaten to death by the angry mob waiting for her in the courtyard, making her probably the most famous victim of the September massacres of the French Revolution. A video on the September massacres will follow at a later time. The Lamballe's head was placed on a pike in front of the window of Marie-Antoinette's quarters at the Tour du Temple in order to torment the queen. At a later time, the head of Lamballe was buried next to her body in the Cimetière des Enfants Trouvés. The Duke of Penthièvre dispatched servants to search for Lamballe's remains. Sadly, their efforts were in vain and the Lamballe's body was never recovered. If you wish to learn more about the execution of Marie-Antoinette or of her sister-in-law Elizabeth of France, you can click on one of the two videos suggested above. This concludes today's video. Thank you for watching. Please join me next week for my video on Louis XVIII.